Hello everyone and welcome to I Suck at League of Legends. I am Link, and I am playing Twisted Fate this game. If you can find him right there, he is. I am also on Keybound 5 this game. Okay, so we're going to cover some little things about Twisted Fate and why I pretty much love him as a mid. So we're going to just speed up to the actual point where this becomes valid. The reason that... Okay, you're going to notice this. That I'm standing here, the Gragas is standing here. This is because this isn't to prevent level 1 ganks, pretty much. And it's pretty much there to allow our jungler to get what he needs, which is the blue buff. And what blue buff does is it pretty much gives you some cooldowns and things of that nature, which... A cooldown allows you to use your skills more often. Since Mundo doesn't have any real mana, it gives him a nice... gives him the cooldowns. Okay, so I'm going up against a Gragas. Gragas is a very hard champion to lane against, and he honestly should have been able to counter me. So... Gragas has long-range attacks and very good self-sustain. As you see, he keeps trying to throw this barrel at me, and I duck out of the way because I bought boots. Boots give me extra mobility. Now, to see the items, you can actually look down here, or when I pull this up, you can look down here. Boots give you increased movement speed, which allow you to be much more mobile in the field, and allow you to do more damage if you can stay with your target long enough. As you see, Gragas hurts. He took about 70 of my health in a single attack, and he's still at full health over there. Now, Gragas, his abilities are interesting. He's got something called Happy Hour and Drunken Rage. We also had Mundo die to golems while he was jungling. But pretty much we have Drunken Rage. There we go. Drunken Rage and Happy Hour. Happy Hour gives him gives him health every time he uses a skill. And Drunken Rage gives him mana and then increased defense to melee attacks. Now, this makes him very strong in lane, and allows him to CS quite well. CS is creep score, which means how many creeps he kills. Now we're going to get to Twisted Fate, which is the champion I am playing. Let me click on me now. Twisted Fate has 1 passive and 3 active skills. His passive I haven't picked up yet, so we're not going to be able to cover that. But I also have Pick a Card. Pick a Card is what you'll see, these cards flashing above my head. Now, as you can see by their base damage, which I can't move my mouse over, but if you look at that box above, blue card does 40, red card does 30, and then gold card does 15. This is because of what they do. Blue card gives me back mana, so it doesn't give you any real buff except sustain. Red card gives you a slow, so they had to lower the amount of damage so you can't burst as heavily. Then gold card is a stun, which can be used to actually do damage. Now you see those cards I fling out right there, that's wild card. Wild cards is my main form of damage. It has a very high amount of damage, and it's scaling. And the scaling is decent. Sorry, base damage is high, and the scaling is high. Also, I was hoping I could see something. But anyway, I am already out of my health potions. Now you see those pick a cards around me. I'm going to go in and combo this Gragas. He's going to run into my card and get killed for an easy first blood. Now you're going to see these cards around me. That is stack deck. And what stack deck is every 4th attack, I do extra bonus damage with a basic. A basic attack is that little card I fling. Well, this also gives me some cooldown reduction, which is really good, because it allows me later game to be able to spam more often and have a higher damage output. Now, I went back and I bought 2 Doran Rings. These give me extra health, ability power, which is strictly damage, and mana regen. The mana regen I really wasn't looking for, since I do have my pick cards blue card, and that allowed me to stay in lane, but I'm looking for the health and the ability power, because this will give me more sustain against the Gragas, who is already back in lane. So now that I've covered some of the basics about what I have, and that, I'm going to let the camera roam, and we are going to see some other champions in their lanes. We have top, we have an Annie and a Xin Zhao versus a Sejuani. Sejuani is on our team, she's the blue one at the bottom. And then, since I don't think it'll pan over soon, or maybe it will. Nope, it's panning over to me in mid. Now, Gragas has a lot more damage output than I do early game. His barrel does much more damage. But you're going to see me attempt to pick at him using my wild cards. They do quite a nice chunk of damage. Because I did pick up ability power. When he went back, we'll see right here, he went back and he only got boots, which makes him faster. So that's not really a good idea. Now bot, well, it was a good idea, but he still doesn't dodge my skills well. So anyway, we have bot. We have a Corki versus a Soraka and a Misfortune. Now, that's a deadly combo if you ask me. Same thing with a Soraka and an Ezreal. This allows her to use her abilities more often, like Make It Rain and or Double Up. I thought it was Ricochet. But those allow her to have a higher damage output. So, now that we've covered pretty much everyone, let's get to the junglers, who one just returned. This is Mundo. Mundo does what Mundo wants. He's pretty much a tank that all of his skills run on health. Now we're going to see a gank in a second. Will he be able to pull it off? There goes the Sejuani in, getting her slow off. There goes the Mundo Cleaver, and an easy kill, trying to flash away. That was too easy. We also have the Misfortune down here, pushing the Corki and the turret. Then is Shaco. Shaco is the jungler for the purple team. He essentially is highly mobile and has a high damage output. Now, this is pretty much how Shaco operates. He uses these little jack-in-the-boxes to scare targets, and while they're scared, he's allowed to do extra damage to them. Now, if he's behind the target, like if they're running away, they also do more damage. So it's kind of hard to run away from a Shaco, because he hurts you if you run away from him. And he can also put those in front of you to slow you down. He can also hit you with a knife, which will allow you to, well, which is a ranged attack that makes you slow for a small duration. So let's see, it looks like we're going down bot for this, and we're going to see the Shaco requested for some help. There goes the dagger I'm talking about, and there's the Jack-in-the-Box doing its job. It also does attack targets. Okay, so mid, we actually have Gragas taking a nice chunk of damage, and me actually over-sustaining him. I did use 2 health pots, but the reason I'm able to win is because I picked up more damage. Now, when I picked up more damage, this is so I can actually harass him and have a more viable option than just sit here and farm. You're going to see me a lot of the times when I have those cards around me, I'm going to pick up blue card. This is going to allow me to do even more damage, since blue card, the damage from that stacks with stacked deck. So we're looking at an additional 80 damage on top of the 60 plus whatever the ratios are. So you're looking at about 200 damage for a single attack. And we're going to go in D and go see up here. We're going to see the Annie getting attacked by the Sejuani. Will she get away? Permafrost is activated. She will not. Now we have down bot. We have the Make It Rain coming in from the Misfortune. The Soraka is going to turn on them for some reason. Activate her silence. Get the kill on Shaco. And wow, that was quick. Up top, there was an easy kill. Now here's the Gragas coming in, throwing his ultimate, trying to kill me. I'm going to go back with wild cards, activate my Ignite on him, keep dodging his abilities. He's going to ignite me, keep running, land another wild card for an easy kill on this Gragas. Now, Gragas' ultimate is really interesting. He is dead, so it's a great time to talk about it. This isn't, wait a minute. Oh, it won't focus on him. So pretty much it's called this explosive cask. It's got a pretty big area, and it can fling you back toward anything. He tried throwing it where he thought I was going, which was kind of dumb, because I actually had my lane advantage at that time. I still had full health and full mana. So this allowed me, actually no, I had about half health and half mana, but I still had lane advantage on him, since I did have more gold. And this pretty much allowed me to easily take him and kill him in a matter of seconds. Now, I don't know why we're looking at Mundo getting red buff, but what red buff does is it's used mostly for people that use basic attacks. This slows down targets and causes true damage, which can not be mitigated by anything other than... Actually, no, that won't even work. Never mind. Okay, we have Shaco coming in with his Deceive. He is invisible. Now throwing out his dagger after the Misfortune. Will we see a kill? We will! Now the Mundo going in a little bit too late. Soraka did return, which opened up an easy kill. Here am I trying to get an easy kill up top. They had that warded. Sejuani going in with her ultimate, freezing and locking them up. And allowing me to get back to turret safely, but we have Gragas, if you can watch the minimap, coming up to go and attack me. Let's double tap 5 and let's see what's going to happen. Or actually, let's put it on free camera. So he's going to throw his ultimate up there, push me a little bit away. Sejuani's having issues, so I'm going to throw my stun card and hit the Xin Zhao, lowering his health pool to something where he won't be able to come in again without having a chance of death. Gragas is going to keep coming out to try and kill me, while the Sejuani is being a bully and keeping him back while I'm able to stay. Now, the Xin Zhao is too far away to actually do any real damage, but we are going to see the Sejuani attempt to kill the Gragas, but the barrel's coming in and killing her! And now she gets flattened by our boar. The end. So, yeah. You actually missed it. I did use my ultimate, but I will show it again. Now, I went back and I picked up another item. The item is called Sheen. What this does is gives me more mana, which allows me to stay in lane longer and not rely on blue card as much, and gives me ability power. But it's passive. It's what I'm really using it for. Since Twisted Fate has a lot of extra damage with his basics by the pick a card or the wild cards, or sorry, the stack deck, this is pretty much a buff. What it does is, here, let me highlight it as I read it. It gives extra damage for my next basic attack equal to my base attack damage. But we'll get over that in a second. We have the, yeah, pretty much he just got comboed by the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao had a buff recently which made him overpowered, so he can pretty much take a whole team. The only reason that he isn't overpowered this game is because our Sejuani knew how to counter him for as long as she could, and he didn't get enough early feed. We are going to see him actually back off because she is too tanky with her giant spell, which is giving her a little bit more health than she needs. So Shaco's coming in right here with his clones, and will he do anything besides waste his ulti? Nope, he wasted it. So we're going to go and focus on me while I explain the Sheen. Sheen, pretty much for this right here, which is my attack damage, it's pretty much 80. So it's going to give a small amount, about 80 points of magic damage when I hit somebody with a basic, which is when you'll see my hands glow a red color. This means that I also have a higher chance of burst damage. Okay, right here we are actually seeing the Shaco, if you watch the minimap. Get ready for a gank. I'm going to unlock the camera here, and we're going to see the Shaco come in, deceive. I'm going to return. He's going to land his shiv on me, put down his box, and I will activate my ultimate, flash to my turret, missing the Gragas ulti, and being able to live another day. Now, my ultimate, what it does is it gives me vision over the map. What I mean by that is I can see where every champion is on the map, but we're not going to get to that. We have actually a small altercation here. The Mundo Cleaver coming in, killing the Shaco outright, and now we have Mundo activating Ghost. And will he get the Gragas with his newly found speed buff? He will, but will he get away from the turret? He will, with the Soraka Wish going out. Soraka Wish is a heal that goes on everyone on the entire map that is a friendly. Okay, so back to Twisted Fate. I was talking about how Sheen is a viable option. It pretty much allows you to do more burst damage. So anyway, I'm going to come in here with it, do a nice amount of damage to Corki, activate Ignite. He's going to heal, which only does 150. Would have done more. It would have done about 300. So I only have a blue card because I was low on mana, but that would have been enough to hurt him and maybe even kill him. He's actually afraid and keeps firing back his ultimate. So my ulti gives me vision over everyone on the enemy team. And it also gives me a decent sized radius. From here, it'll take me about here. So we're looking at about half the map radius. Like I can stand in this bush and teleport all the way up to the tip of that bush, which will allow me to gank anywhere up here.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, that is pretty much all you need to know about Twisted Fate. And I can also teleport while it's active. It has quite a fairly long cooldown. They did increase it after a recent nerf to global alts. So I went back and I bought two items. I bought Sorcerer's Shoes and a Blasting Wand. Now what these two items are going to do for me are increase my damage output. By increasing my damage output, I mean they are going to allow me to do much more damage. But I'm going to go in with blue card and see how much damage that did from one basic to the wow, Gragas. Activating my ulti right now because we don't know where anyone is. Going to go up to top, see the Corki. Can I get a combo out in him? I will attempt, but everything is on cooldown. I will turn on him, activate my slow card, hit him with my wild cards, and pick up a kill. Now you're going to realize I'm doing much more damage. This is because I picked up a blasting wand. The blasting wand is pretty much more ability power, and this allows me to do more damage. And that's pretty much what that is. But I also picked up the sorcerer's shoes, which give me even more movement speed and gives me a passive, which is magic penetration. Now if we go up here and see my stats, I have a small amount of cooldown reduction, but here is where my penetration comes in. I've got 9 points in runes, 10% in masteries, and then I have a small amount, and then I got 20 points from the boots. Now what happens is, we'll see Shaco, okay? Shaco has, where's his magic resistance? Right here, he's got 59. So if we go to me, I've got 29. So from 59 to 29, we are going to take away 29 of those points and bring him down to 30. Then from 30, we're going to take 10% off, which will give me an extra 3% off of his magic resist, which will bring him down to 27. So every time I hit him with a magic ability, it'll be as hitting him with if he only had 27 magic resist. Now, there's other items in the game that give you even more, and they're actually percentage-based because everything in this game caps at 40%. The penetrations cap at 40. The points... Now, here's the difference. The points cap at 40, and the percentage caps at 40. They are two separate entities. I have been told otherwise, but I have done some testing, and it does have a difference. Now right here we are taking Dragon, or Drake, as some people call it. This gives 190 gold to everyone on my team, which will give us a nice gold advantage. As you can see by up top, we already have quite a big gold advantage. Now you're going to see a Sejuani going in there, activating her permafrost. That slow is really strong. Corki using his dash to get away. I will go in there. Misfortune's ulti going out, killing the Corki. But will we have anything to see from this? Corki is pretty much cannon fodder at this point, since he had a horrible early game. Now we have Sejuani. You see those flames coming off her? It means if anyone's near her for a matter of seconds, they're going to take damage. And every second they're near her, they're going to take more and more damage. Although we have Xin Zhao coming in, going after the tank, which is dumb. I'm going to land my stun card on him, but he is going to choose me to attack. I'm going to activate my ultimate and actually flash back somewhere safe so I can return even faster than walking. This will allow me to get my items and become stronger, because I know there wasn't a fight about to happen. We didn't have Mundo, our second tank. So it wasn't really a smart idea to happen. He has something called a Warmogs, which is every time he kills something, he's going to get a massive health bonus. And since he pretty much runs on health, this is a great option for him. Now you're going to see me actually coming back with something called a Needlessly Large Rod. Needlessly Large Rod is pretty much 2 of these for the same price. It's pretty much condensed 2 of these, and 2 blasting wands, and it is pretty much allowing me to do more damage, which is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm going glass cannon here. We have the Gragas ulti going in, trying to save the Shaco, but will it? I will come in with my slow card, hit the Corki, and I actually kill the Shaco with the AoE. Now we have me stunning the Gragas, going in and ripping through all of them. We have a health advantage on them, we have a damage advantage on them. And it is pretty much over here. I'm going to hit Corki with a nice combo with blue card. And having the Sheen activated, which will allow me even more damage. Now, my pick-a-cards do activate on turrets, but only the blue one and the red one. Which pretty much... Well, you can't stun a turret, and you can't slow a turret, but the AoE damage affects a turret, and the magic damage affects the turret. Not from the Sheen, just from the card. So we're actually going to see them push back on our lane now, as I'm going to go down there and grab some wraiths, as you can see me at the top, while Mundo's grabbing our red buff. They're going to speed up just a tad, and get ready for the next fight that is going to happen in a matter of seconds. And this is pretty much where the game draws a close, I think. No, we have a few more minutes left. I'm activating my ultimate here, so I can see where everyone is on the map. Now we have the Xin Zhao coming in, focusing on me, activating my stun card, getting him stunned, keeping him close, and nuking him for almost all his health. Now Gragas and Shaco going after me, getting blue cards so I can get a nice hunk of mana, throwing back my cards, but we have Gragas up front, hitting him with my blue card, getting hit by his ulti, getting pushed away. Now we have the Sejuani going in, tanking the ultimate from the Misfortune, and we will see the stun going out from the Sejuani, picking up an easy kill on the Corki as Mundo, and a second one on the Annie. Now we have Sejuani taking the turret when there's minions right there, and we are going to be able to take a turret at this point, and let's see. Is the surrender vote come in anytime soon? Not to my knowledge. So let's go back and see what I bought. I bought something called a Lich Bane. Lich Bane is pretty much an essential on Twisted Fate. I said pretty much an essential on Twisted Fate. It gives me more ability power, magic resist, which makes me more tanky, and movement speed, which allows me to close gaps for my target and actually get that slow off or that stun off, which is very good. Now this goes on your this does physical damage, or sorry, the way that's worded. So pretty much you do extra physical damage equal to your ability power. Since I stack ability power, it's going to do even more physical damage. I actually said that wrong with Sheen. It does physical damage, which is good because it makes you a hybrid in lane when you're able to stack something that allows you even more power. Now you're going to see my hands actually glow a different color here to indicate that it is a different ability, so people don't actually have to click to see. Now we have about a minute left because I do remember 24. Yes, I'm going to leave up the items as you can see everyone else's before the games end. And here comes the final altercation. We will have me leading the pack and being 5-0-4. And here comes the last fight. We're going to see the ulti coming in from the Misfortune, killing the Annie. And there goes me, landing an easy wild card on the Corki. We're going to push forward to the Nexus at this point. See Gragas under the turrets, going to take 2 turret shots, but now we're actually going to go after the turret down bot. We didn't know how long these guys were actually going to plan on staying here to do damage. I'm going to throw my weight around because I can do burst damage at this point. And I'm going to make sure that they don't stay near me or my team while we're pushing. Now, this Gragas is getting very ballsy and is attempting to attack us. Now, we have vision within there. I'm going to activate my ulti, launch myself in there. He's going to hit me with the ultimate. I'm going to flash away, getting a small amount of room. But there goes a bullet from the Misfortune. My card will go and miss the Corki, but he will die to a Mundo. Now we have the Annie coming after us, hitting her with wild cards. Will I get the kill with a basic? I will not. But we have the Xin Zhao returning, and this is us taking their inhibitor. Well, taking their turrets. Now here's me. Let me guess. Do I actually kill? No. Yes, I do. I do kill the Xin Zhao. And that is a 7-0-7, as you can see right down here. Another perfect game. And that's pretty much it. We're just going to see them... Well, actually, it's not even a surrender vote. I think we just destroy the Nexus at this point. Their team was pretty good. Oh, nice kill on the Gragas. Didn't even see that. And that was it. So, if you enjoyed the content provided, leave a like. You want to stay current, subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. And also, check out the awesome music I made for the new outro. I didn't like the wubs, so check it out.